H-Town, brother. I'm literally live on the radio and at a Rockets event at the same time.
It's crazy, man.
It makes sense. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, man. I want to welcome you to the show. We have one of the nicest coming out of Houston right now. He's an artist. He's a radio boss. Kiotti. Hey. What is going on, man? Hard Body Kiotti is in the building.
Hey, first and foremost, I think out of all the interviews I've done, your wardrobe is definitely on point. You got the Houston, you understood the assignment. Much love. You looking great, brother.
I appreciate that, man. Usually when I bring a guest on, I always make them feel at home and I put on whatever gear wherever they're from to make them feel at home, as I said. Yeah.
For sure. No, nothing but love, man. I appreciate you definitely making the time. As you can see, I'm live on the job, at the job, but I definitely wanted to be sure that, man, we got a chance to connect. Just anytime I get a chance to do radio and I do radio, then it's always love on my end, brother. Love connecting and being sure that we build that bridge and that bond.
That's right, 100%. And congratulations on your newest album, Grown Man Music. How you feeling about it?
Man, feeling really good, man. We're getting a lot of great feedback. I think for me, the thing that people have really been surprised by is that it's a well-rounded project. I'm really on there talking about grown man stuff. You know, at the end of the day, for me, and I understand that people make music based on the life that they live. You know what I'm saying? And for me, man, I'm a grown man. I got a wife, kids. I'm an entrepreneur. I own businesses. I might not want to ride around talking about shooting up ops and smoking people on the block. That's not where my life is at. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be the biggest radio personality in the country. I look at people like my brother, DJ Khaled, and other radio personalities that have, you know, kind of did their thing, except for Khaled don't rap. So in that lane, I would be more Ludacris, a brother that, you know, really from the soil here in Houston. And the city knows that really I got bars and I rap. And man, it's just a great feeling having that love from the city. So Grown Man Music has been well accepted here in the city of Houston and beyond, for sure.
Stay, that's one of my favorites, as well as Never Gave Up, because that's something that everyone can relate to when they're going through the troubles of starting on in their career. And you sampled Nipsey Hussle on that song. Was the Nipsey Hussle thing that you sampled on your song, what he was saying on there, was it from your interview?
Right. Nipsey and I had an interview, one of my most classic interviews. And man, that really spoke to me a lot because I asked him in the full interview, like, man, you know, there's artists that strictly depend on radio. And it might sound bad, a guy that's working for radio telling artists don't depend on radio. But it just, for me, man, if you're basing your whole success on if you get this platform or if you get that platform, man, you'll never go. So for me, with or without radio, man, you got to find a way to make it happen for you and your family. You can't be the guy that's like, or the girl, because it is International Women's. Yeah, much love to all my sisters and my queens out there. You can't be the guy or the girl that's strictly basing your success on one part. But man, I hope I can get this out. Nah, man, there's a lot of different ways to get in. If I can't get in through the door, let me climb through the window. If the window locked, let's use the garage open. Many ways to get in. You got to be sure you make it happen, Max. Definitely.
Mm-hmm. Nipsey Hussle, recipes to him. Something that spoke out to me in your interview with him was speaking about artists building their brands up. What was your process of building your brand up when you got your start in the industry?
Man, for me, going from music to radio, I think just me coming up as an artist, I understood that if you build your brand, it can feed you forever. For me, I never went to college to get a quote unquote communication degree. I'm the guy that was like, man, you know what? Freestyling really opened doors for me. There was a beach party and an artist didn't show up one time. And the program director, who eventually ended up being my first boss, was like, well, what are we about to do for this next 10 minutes? As a joke, somebody said, let Kiotti freestyle. She was like, who the hell is Kiotti, right? I'll never forget. I was like, oh my God. So I said, you know, I'm Kiotti. She's like, I don't care what we do. Just get out there and make it happen. 10 minutes went and rocked it. She said, oh my God, I've never seen anything like that. Would you be willing to come do that at my radio station? That one opportunity turned into a 12-year radio career. I've been doing radio for 12 years now. By just understanding, man, if you build your brand, if you believe in yourself, a lot of time as artists, we'll wait for somebody to come invest in us. Man, no, if you work in a regular job, I don't care if you work at Mickey D's, I don't care if you work at the flea market, save your money up, man. The same way you go and pay the store, the same way you go and pay Jordan, the same way you go and pay the jury, man, pay yourself. Say, man, you know what? Man, a nice music video costs this much. A good engineer costs about this much. Man, invest in yourself. After you invest in yourself and you build your brand, it's easy to get brand partnerships. For me to get with the Rockets, I didn't go to them and say, hey man, I sound dope on the mic inside of the arena. It was like, no, I have over 150,000 followers on Instagram. I got the #1 show in the city of Houston as far as radio is concerned, 18 to 34 and 25 to 49. I have a huge following with my own clothing brand. When I came to them with a brand, so it made it easier for them to do business with my brand because they understood that I understand what a brand means, and I would never jeopardize their brand. So I always tell people, man, invest in you, build your brand. That's how you'll eat forever, straight up.
That's a fact. And we're getting into the radio industry now. Do you think it's more appropriate for people who want to get into this industry to have multiple lanes and forms of entertainment in their own businesses? Because you got your own marketing company as well, Umbrella. You sell cars too. I did my research online. And like you said, your own clothing brand. Houston versus all y'all, or Houston versus everyone.
Right. Man, this is the thing that everyone has to understand. You've always got to bring value to any ship. Friendship, relationship, any ship that you go into, always bring your value with you. So for me, I definitely understood like, hey man, I need to understand whenever somebody comes to town, I know what a marketing company is. So if somebody has an event, they need social media marketing, they need my team to come do the interior decorating. Let's do that. If you're an artist and you're like, hey man, I need some help getting my music to other DJs, let's do that. The more you have, because you may not be able to, even this event, the event that I'm at right now, one time for the Houston Rockets, hey man, it's been a slow season. I'm telling everybody, our record is not amazing this year. We got a lot of rookies. But what I will tell you is that, hey man, whenever we come to this building, there's a DJ already on the inside DJing. They didn't need a DJ, but they said, hey, we do need a host and an MC for the event. I still was able to go get the bag because I just happened to be a host and an MC. So hey, let's do it. When you build your brand and you have multiple hustles and multiple streams of income, whenever you get in the door, if one bag is gone, you got a 99% chance there's another bag that's open. And if your brand is ready for that bag, you could definitely go get it.
Have you had the chance to perform your own anthem, Hookah Hookah, for the Houston crowd for the Rockets?
Not yet. So here goes the funny thing. Whenever I first started doing music, Hookah Hookah was an HBCU anthem that we did. And it was super appropriate for the time. So now my latest song that they play at the games is H-Town For Real. And of course, me being in Houston, I have a song with Zero, Lil Flip, Paul Wall, Mr. Mad, Riff Raff. And I put it together after I talked to my brother, DJ Khaled. He said, what are you trying to do? I said, Khaled, I ain't gonna lie, I'm trying to come catch you, homie. He said, well, if you want to catch me, you got to make music, Kiotti. And I'm like, dang, I didn't think about it. So just that conversation, I didn't take it like he was hating. I took it as great motivation. After that conversation, that's when I put together H-Town For Real, the anthem. And it's been killing here in the city, man. So again, H-Town For Real was just the intro to Texas Thing, which is on grown man music. So step by step, we definitely putting it out and making sure we make it do what it's supposed to do.
Mm-hmm. You were signed to Asylum back in the day too.
Right. So man, the crazy thing is, it's full circle. Even when I was with Asylum, I never released any projects with them. We were bumping heads. And for me, and I don't know if this would strike a chord with any other artist, I didn't want to be the artist that was rich, that was broke and popular. I wanted to be the artist that was rich. Doesn't matter really if I'm popular, because for me, again, on some grown man stuff, the most important thing that any man can do is provide for your family. So for me, I didn't want to be that guy. So me and Asylum did not see eye to eye, and we separated doing business. So man, it's crazy now coming back to the table. One of my relationships through Asylum that I never messed over, even though I didn't like the way it turned out, I kept it G, was one of the people that ended up coming back to help me kind of get some of the distribution situated for grown man music. So full circle moments, definitely.
Mm-hmm. Did you link up with Chris Thornton on this, or the Frontrunnaz?
Yeah, shout out my brother Chris, shout out Labbox. Chris really was the guy that I felt comfortable getting back in the music train with. And so he and I hooked up. We started this process together, saw it all the way through to the finish, man. This whole grown man music project. Halfway through it, I pulled in King Labbox to kind of add a few different dynamics on it. He and I have been friends for years. And so again, this project is mostly those two. The only beat that was not produced by them was The Story, featuring Trials, which is a phenomenal artist. Y'all Google Trials. He's a crazy artist, super dope, super live, a young brother coming up doing his thing. That was produced mixed by Picasso. So shout out Picasso for doing The Story for me and Trial.
Something that I really appreciated being an old school R&B fan was you sampling Guy's Piece of My Love on Stay. That was crazy.
And then, so I didn't put any features. The only feature that I have on this whole project happened to be on stage. It was Shazam from the legendary group H-Town. His brother Dino, rest in
Rest in
peace,
peace to Dino.
was the artist that discovered me. Whenever I was at a talent show coming up, grinding and doing what I was doing as an artist, they took me to Dino's house. The first time I ever been around anybody famous. We ended up knocking out 2 songs that night. 1 song for him and 1 song with him and Adina Howard called Can't No Free. And so rest in peace to Dino. That's the only person on the album that was an independent artist, was my big brother Shazam. And I appreciate him. Stay is a classic. If you love 90s R&B, if you love those classic 2000 era R&B, Stay is definitely the record for you. Trust me.
100%. You did that to the fullest with this new album, and you have a lot on the way. And you also talked to Scarface the other night. I saw inside of one of the arena in the Houston arena, and asked him about the Genius documentary, about him going back and recording that verse for Jesus Walks. He didn't actually. He wanted to do family business, but he didn't end up going back to the studio that day because 9/11 happened.
That is the craziest piece. I think that's the other thing about this Genius documentary. I saw a lot of things that I didn't understand, and if you just watch the documentary, you might be like, oh, it's messed up. There was some real life stuff going on inside of other people's lives as well. A lot of respect for Kanye. I definitely believe he's a genius, one of the top artists of our era. But man, having that conversation with Scarface just reminded me that, hey man, you know what? A lot of time, the no to you might be God's yes to something else. Has Scarface got on Jesus Walks? What if as a music community, we were like, see, Kanye needed Scarface for that? No. He did it by himself, and it turned out exactly how it was supposed to turn out. One of the most iconic songs, really, of our lives. You know what I'm saying? Just somebody being unapologetically strong in their walk with God and just saying, hey, man, Jesus walk with me. So again, that was an epic moment for Ye that never would have happened had he got the yes from Scarface. For real, for real.
Throughout your time.
Look, man. Look, man, Max, we live in the interview.
Oh, we're live here. We got the old mascot here.
Hey,
that's crazy. That's crazy. Throughout your time DJing for the Rockets, have you had the chance to meet Hakeem Olajuwon?
Yes, Hakeem the Dream. Much love to the big homie. He's still like 7'2" or 3, huge guy. And I found out that he still does player development with some of the younger players. One time for Hakeem the Dream. Have not seen Clyde Drexler. I think that's the only other person with the Rockets, Hakeem and Clyde Drexler, 5-slammer jammer from the University of Houston. Have not met Clyde at a game, but definitely met the big homie Hakeem.
You got to get down there and make sure John Wall, get on those turntables and get him out there on that court, get him motivated.
Hey, man. Hey, I can't wait for him to play, man. He's a baller shot caller, for real, for real.
For sure. Is there anything else that you want to mention on the show that we didn't cover here today with any of your shows on the radar, AM Wake Up Show?
Tap into my brand. Definitely, if you're watching this and listening, man, tap into my brand. The goal is in the next 12 months to be the biggest media personality in the United States of America, man. And man, I got some amazing things going on. Big shout out my partnership with iHeartMedia, syndicated in 37 cities all across the states. Big shout out all my viewers and listeners in Ohio, Vegas, Alabama, Florida, Mississippi, Louisiana. Like, it's real love with me, y'all. I love my wife. I love my kids. I'm the guy that's always gonna tell you, man, feed your legacy, fund your legacy, man. Be sure you got your business in order, grown man business. Let's be sure we have these insurance policies. So if something happens, we're not doing GoFundMe's and selling plates to take care of us. Let's not leave that burden on our families. Let's be sure when we get paid, we pay ourselves. Let's save money. Let's invest money. Let's not be late on the wave. The NFTs, I don't know what the NFT is, right? I know it's a non-fungible token, but I'm not all the way in the game like that yet. Between the NFTs and between the crypto, let's be sure that we're not late on that wave, guys. Let's do things that our parents didn't do for us to set our kids up and put them in a better position. Real talk, man. Grown man music. Gotta support that out.
Well said, Kiotti. I want to thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for what you do for the communities as well, because the number one thing about you being a family man is that you give back to a lot of people, and we always got to highlight that when someone does the great deeds for the community.
Man, I never talk about it because we're going to do that regardless, man. I just love the city, man. Growing up, having a mother that is a minister, man, my faith in God and my belief in God has got me a very long way. So I always treat people right, regardless if they can't help me. If they can't help me, I'm not doing it because I need anything from them. I'm doing it because my moral and my spiritual belief tells me, man, how we treat people now, that's how we'll get treated later, man. And I always live by that. So one time for everybody that's doing their piece to give back. I don't do news interviews about the good we do in the community. It's not about that. It's about being sure that we treat each other like real human beings And that's what it's always about with me. Anytime we meet and we link up and we fellowship with one another, straight up.
Well said, Kiotti. I want to thank you again for coming on the show. Shout out to Richard Dean and congratulations on everything that you've achieved this far.
Hey,
Take it to the next
grunge
level.
cake, baby.
Yeah.
Dean, I definitely appreciate you. No, it's love, brother. Hey, let's be sure we follow each other online. I definitely want to tap in with you. Anything you need from my end, brother, let's continue to build. Thank you so much for the time. And I appreciate you allowing me to come on your beautiful platform and just share this love with the world, man. Thank you.
I appreciate it, Kiotti. Get in there, make sure everyone gets on their feet, and make sure the Rockets head in the right direction. Then you can come to Madison Square Garden and get my Knicks hyped up, okay?
Oh, man. Hey, boy. Hey, when the Knicks came, y'all gave us hell, guys. I want my lick back.
Our one time of winning. That's all.
Look, hey, it's always love. Hey, we're two struggling teams. Hopefully, down the line, we can see each other in the finals, and then you and I have to put a fun city bet on the line. Looking forward to it.
That's a fact, man. Kiotti, I appreciate you coming on the show. You're always welcome, man. Congratulations on everything, and I'm looking forward to everything you achieve in the future, man.
Thank you so much. H-Town for real. Hey, y'all be sure y'all go support, stream that grown man music. Yeah, man, Max. Thank you, brother. Love.
Appreciate it, Kiotti. Take care. Stay safe, man.
Peace.
Peace.